Did you ever wonder how Woodbine began? It wasn't in here. Not here. Not here. Not here. It began here. One day, long before Woodbine Church ever held its first service, someone dared to believe that this church could exist. They dared to believe that God was calling on them to plant a church in the Pace area to reach even more people for Christ. Over 25 years ago, someone through prayer and through seeking God through the Scriptures dared to believe that Woodbine Church could come into existence. And they dared to believe that God could do something in this community. Now, once someone dared to believe that Woodbine Church could be started, a pastor was sent and they began talking to people and the church was formed. It met in a living room much like this one. But soon, the crowd outgrew the living room and they needed a bigger space. And they dared to believe that God would provide for them, and He did. So they came here to one of these storefronts and they began to use this as a place for worship. And they grew, and God blessed Woodbine Church. And as it grew, they began to think about a new facility where they could reach even more people for Christ. And so they dared to believe for a new place to worship. And then as Woodbine Church continued to grow, the storefront near Hungry Howie's became too small. And those who were meeting there dared to believe that we could build a facility on this campus. And that's where this facility came in. They dared to believe this could happen, and they built this facility that we call the Commons today. We worshiped here for several years until Woodbine Church continued to be blessed and they outgrew this facility. And now we want to invite you to help us dare to believe again, and here's how. As we have seen, the way Woodbine Church got here is because someone years ago dared to believe that we could exist. And now we have the opportunity to dare to believe in the future that Woodbine has in store for it as we go forward. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Now we can dare to believe about the future of Woodbine Church. Where are we going? What can we do? How can we reach our community in a greater way? We want to invite you to be a part of the Dare to Believe campaign. This campaign has 3 different prongs we want to share with you. The first part of the campaign is that we want to expand our outreach. Woodbine Church is known as a church that reaches out into the community. We get phone calls here and they ask us, "Aren't you the church that helps people?" And it's so good for us to be able to say, yes, we do. So what we want to do is continue to expand that outreach. We want to continue to look at ways that we can reach more people with the gospel of Christ. We want to see how we can help more people. And we dare to believe God is calling on us to do just that. Many years ago, I sat down with a man who was coming in to plant a church in our community. And as we were talking about it, I was wondering, why in the world is he going to plant another church in the Pace community? Because as you know, there are churches everywhere. But they said that according to the census that happened in 2010, 90% of the people in the Pace and Pea Ridge area are unchurched. I know that's hard to believe, but there are so many people that we can reach. See, friends, we're in the middle of a mission field. We have a great opportunity to impact our community and expand our outreach. The second part of this campaign is to reduce our debt. Many of you might not be aware that we have a mortgage of $1.5 million. Our mortgage payment is almost $8,900 a month. With the Dare to Believe campaign, our goal is to cut our mortgage payment in half and thereby free up $50,000 for ministry each year. $50,000 that can be used to reach more people for Christ. We believe God is calling on that, and we dare to believe that we can accomplish that goal. The third part of this campaign is to help us to enlarge the facility. In so many ways, we're out of room here on our campus. On Wednesday nights, we're packed out. We have almost all of our facility is being used by children, by youth, and by adults. We want to enlarge our facility so that we can not only impact those who are already here, but so that we can grow our ministry into our community in so many ways. Our youth don't have a space to call their own. Our children need more room. Our life groups are out of space, so we need to enlarge our facility in order to reach out to more people in our community and meet the needs that we already have. We dare to believe God is calling on us to use part of the resources from the Dare to Believe campaign to expand and enlarge our facilities. So there you have it. The Dare to Believe campaign comes in 3 prongs. We want to help to expand our outreach, to reduce our debt, and to enlarge our facility. We want to invite you to be a part of that. Our campaign goal is $1 million. We want to raise $1 million over the next 3 years. And we want to invite you to help with a financial faith investment above and beyond your regular giving for the next 3 years to help us reach that $1 million. The first $600,000 of that $1 million will be used to reduce our debt. By reducing that debt, we free up money to be used for ministry in our community. As I shared a few minutes ago, by putting that $600,000 towards our mortgage, we free up almost $50,000 a year for ministry. The next $400,000 we receive will go to enlarge our facilities. By reducing our debt and preparing to enlarge our facilities, we will free up resources to expand our outreach. So we want to invite you to dare to believe with us. Will you dare to believe that we'll reach the goal of $1 million over the next 3 years? Will you pray about how God would have you be a part of that great expansion of ministry that we're going to have? Will you dare to believe that God has great things in store for the future of Woodbine Church? Will you dare to believe that we can use the resources we're going to receive to make an everlasting imprint in our community? Will you dare to believe?